Hi, SK here. So today I have something very interesting to share because if you are currently renting and is planning to buy a condo for own stay, right? This video will be very helpful for you, and you'll be surprised if I tell you that renting might actually be better than owning a resale. Of course, this is very subjective and it depends on the length of how long do you plan to stay. Hopefully, this video will help you understand better, and if you have any queries, you can let me know, and I'll go through with you further. So I'll be using an example of a D19 property. So the most recent TOP project in D19 is Florence Residences. So the first thing we do is we head to Guru, of course. Then here, I'll be doing a filter, 600 square feet minimum, because that's how big we want the two-bedroom to be. Then I want a two-bed, two-bath, for example. So here you can see that there are quite a lot of choices. They are below $4,000. So the cheapest is from 3,400. So let's say, for example, we get it at 3,500. So the cost for staying for the whole 3 years will be 3,500 multiplied by 3 years. So you'll be paying about $126,000. So this amount will be the losses that you suffer during these 3 years. So remember this figure. Later we'll come back to this figure again. So if you have planned to buy a condo to stay, minimally you should stay for at least 5 years or more, because the losses will be lesser the longer you stay. So to see what are the costs you need to pay when you buy a condo, I'll be listing down in the video so you can visualize better. So take for example a two-bedroom in the same project, Florence Residences. Let's say for example a $1.15 million property. So assuming you take max loan, you'll be paying about $862,000 every month. So a 30-year loan, assuming 3.2% interest, fixed interest, which is about the current market interest, mortgage interest, you'll be paying about $3,730 every month. And because when you pay for a loan, you're not paying for the full amount. So some of it will be paying towards the principal interest, some is towards the principal amount. So the principal interest that you'll be paying out of the 3,730 every month will be, the first month will be 2,300. Subsequent months, they will start to drop a bit by a bit, for example, $1, $2 every month. But we just buffer up, for example. So we take 2,300 multiplied by 36 months. That will be the losses you suffer for 3 years. So the amount will be $82,800. So next, when you take over the unit and stay, you need to pay for maintenance. So let's say, for example, the maintenance is $350 a month. So that will rack up to about $12,600 for 3 years. Because if you rent, you don't pay for maintenance. Whereas when you own a condo, you need to pay for maintenance. Also the same thing, when you own a condo, you need to pay for property tax. So every year, if you go to IRAS and see, right, let's see the example that they give. So the example is about 1,180 every year. So that is the amount that you'll be paying towards the property tax. The next loss that you'll be suffering will be buyer stamp duty. Because when you pay for a property, you have to pay buyer stamp to IRAS. So this amount, when you sell a property, you will not get back the price. So you have to factor this into your selling price when you sell in the future. But let's say, for example, we don't talk about the selling price. We say that the selling price will be the same as what you bought for. We disregard appreciation and the depreciation, right? The buyer stamp is $30,600. And of course, when you sell, there will be a seller stamp duty. So not seller stamp duty. You have to pay for agent fee when you sell a property. So in the market currently, it's about 2% plus GST. Of course, you can pay lesser, but then I'll be using 2% for an example. So 2% plus GST will be $25,000. So when you add all this up together, right, the total amount is $152,250. And that is excluding some other fees, for example, lawyer fee when you buy and you sell. So all this you also have to factor it in. But if we just compare these two amounts, right, rental you are paying $126,000 compared to owning a condo for 3 years. The losses suffered is $150,000. So if your plan is to own a 2-bedroom for example, 3 years, 4 years, and then upgrade from there, right? End up, you might not be making money. In fact, you might be losing more money versus renting. So that's why sometimes people will think like, I buy a 2-bedroom condo resale, for example. The loan amount is $3,700. But when the mortgage interest, I mean, the mortgage I'm paying is 3,700 every month. But then you don't see all the actual cost that you are actually paying. Because rental, like for example, is 3,500. So it's very simple, ma. You just pay 3,500. Whereas if you buy a condo, you pay mortgage 3,700. It looks on the surface, it looks like you are saving money. But once you start counting all the losses that you suffer, right? Then you come to realize that actually renting might make more sense if I plan to buy a bigger condo in 3 to 5 years' time. So all this you should put into consideration when you buy a property. So maybe if you have plans to settle down and start a family, you can look for a 3-bedder condo, or maybe just rent until you are eligible to buy a HDB, depending on what kind of circumstances that you are in right now, lah. So if you have any queries or anything, feel free to let me know. Then I can try to answer and help you along the way from